All right, hey guys, bit of a different type of a video today. We're going to be reacting to the Madden 21 trailer. It was officially released today. It actually came out last night through a leak. I did watch it one time last night on my way back to my apartment. I saw it and, I couldn't resist. I watched it once, picked up on a few things, but, I'm still technically reacting. I'm going to try to dissect this a lot further. I literally just watched it. I didn't think too much about it. I will try to point out what I noticed originally, but we're going to try to dissect this a bit. Now, if this is, if you're trying to watch the Madden 21 trailer, this is not the place for you to be. This is me reacting to it, and I'm going to talk a lot about what I think about it. It's not going to be me watching it in, one straight line. It's going to be a lot of me talking, all right? It's going to be my reaction, and what I think, and why I think you guys shouldn't overreact, and what I saw that I liked and what I saw that I didn't like. Now, typically, you guys know that I give EA a hard time. A lot of the time, it's more for entertainment. I'm pretty indifferent in terms of how I feel about EA and the product that they put out, which is Madden. I love video games. I love Madden, football video games. So, that's what I play for my living. That's, the game that I love the most, that I chose to start making YouTube content on it. So, when I say, I hate the game or the game's terrible, whatever, you got to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. Do I think Madden 20 was probably the worst gameplay wise of the past 4 years? Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to buy Madden 21. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to be excited. Every Madden has good and bad parts of the Madden, and every Madden has good and bad parts of the year. And Madden 20, I just feel like had more bad times of the year and more bad parts of the Madden. But there were still things I liked about Madden 20, and still parts of the year of Madden 20 that were better than others of other Maddens. But regardless, we're going to start watching this here. We're going to get into it. I've talked for a little bit, but again, I'm going to try my very best to dissect what I saw in this. Again, this comes out, it comes out the 28th. If you pre-order the MVP edition, I think it's the MVP edition, you get it 3 days early on the 25th. That's like an extra $40. You get a bunch of MUT content. I'm going to try to link everything in the description for you guys. Easy links for you guys to get to where you need to be. In terms of accessing this information, because they did release some notes on it as well. But then also there's EA Access, which gives you 5 days early. Actually ends up being six. So we would get it, if there's EA Access again this year, we would get 10 hours of trial starting on August 19th at around 2 p.m. typically. So that's normally what happens. Things are obviously subject to change. This release date's a lot later. It's almost a month later than last year. Actually might be a month later than last year. Like a full month, which is crazy. But yeah, I don't mind the later release date, other than I just have to play Madden 20 for longer, which stinks. So I'm gonna try to find other things with other content to do moving forward to mix in, so it's not just Madden until then. I want to start branching out. I'm gonna start doing that, and I appreciate your guys' support as we start to do that. But Madden's not going anywhere. Don't sweat it. So let's get into this thing. Here we go. Oof. Right away, off the get-go, this is something I saw someone point out on Twitter. Raiders Nation, you got the new Las Vegas Raiders Stadium right here. Super, super cool stuff. Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson. Things start to get interesting here. Okay, things start to get interesting. This is where I noticed my first thing coming up. This area, I actually think, does have a lot to look into. Okay, so a lot right there. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, cover athlete. I'm a little bit scared they're going to make him overpowered just because he's the cover athlete. He was already so good in Madden 20. He might have been the best regs player in Madden 20. And now he's the cover athlete. They're going to try to make him really good. Now, obviously, they're showing him carrying the ball. Obviously, this is just cinematic. It can mean anything. We don't know the difficulty it's on. We actually do know the game type. It says it in the scoreboard, but I was gonna say we don't know the game type, but definitely a simulation. I saw it on the scoreboard. But we don't know much about this. Again, it's cinematic. This is meant to please more casual people. Don't take this as gameplay when we're watching this. Doesn't necessarily mean the way the game's gonna play out. People overhype how much they look into this, in my opinion. Now, granted, I am making a video on it, but there are things we can take away from this. It is still a 90-second trailer of the game that we're going to be playing in August. But gameplay-wise, we're not going to get a ton. But I can show you a few things that we see throughout this. So here we go. Read option. Obviously, we knew those would be back. They've been in Madden for a while. This is a super cool clip. So a few things. The first thing that I noticed it last night. Listen. It's a new commentator. So we have a new commentary crew. Nice refresher. It's not something I'm dying for. I'm not huge on the presentation of Madden, but it's good. Good for casual people. A lot of people think that, you know, the new Madden is just a roster update, which like just shows how surface level people play the game. Like the game changes so much from year to year, like so much. People just don't know. But yeah, like new commentary. That's a huge new feature. And then as well, last year we got a new scoreboard for the first time in a few years. Looks like they're refreshing it again. I saw this on Twitter. Someone pointed this out. So new scoreboard, nice, clean. I actually see it right away. I'm like, that is going to be so much easier for YouTube thumbnails. The one right now sucks for YouTube thumbnails. It's really hard to cut out. This looks a lot easier. It's obviously, you know, it's a bit darker, which is dope. It's a cool looking scoreboard. So I'm down with it. Obviously it's sim game mode. And another cool thing that we can take away from this before the end of the clip is, look, we had an X factor underneath Lamar Jackson. Now we knew that, or I don't want to say knew, but could give a very strong assumption that would probably be true, that new abilities would be back and X factors would be back. And as you can see, it lights up when he spins. It's like a spin cycle juke or sorry, a spin cycle spin or an evasive spin, something definitely lights up, and he doesn't have his X factor activated right now. It just looks like a red X. Doesn't look activated. It looks more like that was a passive ability activating. It could have been fast break also. It could have just been, you know, the timing of it. It doesn't look like a super fast spin, so that would maybe make sense. But yeah, make someone miss. Abilities being back is good in my opinion. It makes players, especially in regs, stand out that should. Aaron Donald has never been Aaron Donald in regs until this past year when they gave him pass rush elite. You guys know how much I can hate abilities and how unbalanced they are, and how like OP stock pass rush was and certain things like that. But there is an aspect of abilities that is really good, and unfortunately we have to rely on EA to balance them. But for the most part, they make the game better, and they definitely make it more entertaining. They definitely make it more fun for me to watch and for me to play, in my opinion. You know, people have differing opinions on that, but that's how I feel about it. So anyways, and then to finish off the run, he reaches for the end zone, which we all know in my last thrown 2 video, my Evan Ingram on a 4th and 8 caught the ball, laid down, didn't do anything to try to get a first down. This is a brand new feature, super cool in my opinion. Something that's been needed in Madden for a long time. I guess I'm not going to try to complain that it's late, you know, better late than never, but yeah, we needed this in Madden, and it's finally coming, where they reach for, you know, the goal line, reach for first downs. That's huge part of football right there that we just haven't had. And sorry, I've talked so much for the first 11 seconds, but so much has happened in this 11 seconds that we were able to see about Madden 21. So super cool so far. Super cool. Love to see X Factors returning. Like to see the new scoreboard commentary. Hopefully that's nice and smooth. You know, don't have, what is it, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis anymore. It's appearing. Maybe there are 2 different commentary crews. It'd be a lot of work. But yeah, super cool so far. Love. So it says all out ball carrier control. Why do we need to know this? You guys know how much you were given crap for the run meta this past year. It shocks me that they chose to brand around this with their trailer. I get it. It's a cinematic trailer and there's some cool stuff, like that hurdle Christian McCaffrey was nasty. But yeah, some cool hurdles. That truck animation we just saw with Derrick Henry is very standard truck animation that's been in the game for years. Another super cool hurdle from Saquon Barkley. I see this as a content creator and I'm like, this is so cool. It's going to be the easiest to do thumbnails next year if I can hurdle people consistently. It's going to be awesome. Now, granted, will it maybe suck for the gameplay? Probably, but I see it and I'm like, that is a gold mine in terms of like a thumbnail where someone's hurdling someone. It'll just look nasty. So more reaching out. We've seen that a lot. More guys reaching out, and all running backs so far. No one else. Finally, we see Russell Wilson, another scrambling quarterback, reaching for the end zone there. So ball carriers, you know, we didn't learn too much. Cool new hurdles. Now they reach the ball out. I guess that's it. Then it moves into dominate the edge. New pass rush control. Don't look into this too much. Like I said, again, it's a cinematic trailer, so like this doesn't tell us at all how the game's gonna play. But to me, it just shocks me that they chose to brand around the pass rush for this trailer. I get it. You want to cater to casuals for it, but like the thing that your core community complained about the most, or the 2, were the run game and the pass rush. And look at them. Just brand them throughout the 90-second trailer. It does shock me. Now, the good thing about this is it's actually user pass rush controls. So you're going to have to be using a D-line. So it is super for casual people. But yeah, you see some cool animations here. I did put out a tweet on that. Do we need to rewatch that? What just happened? Did it catch you off guard? This was the one thing that really stood out to me in the trailer last night when I watched it. What in the piss is that? If that happens to me, Madden 21 is uninstalled before the whistle. Uninstalled before the whistle. No, for real though. People are going to be like, throwing strip sacks happened in the NFL. I understand. But in terms of skill gap in a competitive game, which Madden is supposed to be, we want skill gap. That is a good thing. That makes video games better. Strip sacks are really bad. They're really, really bad. And hopefully you can play conservative and that'll alleviate the issue. But strip sacks typically mean one, you already got sacked, so you're already being punished for making a mistake, which is passing the ball and you didn't throw a pick, you just took a sack. Is what it is. But instead of that being being on 2nd and 16, instead it's the ball's on the ground and it's possibly your opponent's ball, which if they pick it up, it's typically going for 7 the other way. That's why we hate strip sacks. And now we're finding out that strip sacks possibly are guaranteed going to your opponent, because Jamal Adams one time stripped the quarterback this past year and held onto the ball. And he actually took it for 7. Thankfully, Joey Bosa falls down. Thankfully, this dude doesn't just run off with the ball, hightailing it to the end zone. But I saw that animation. It's cool. It is. I just thought immediately of the anger that's going to go through my freaking brain if this happens to me. But I say it a lot, is what it is. So cinematic, it looks cool. Great. More just dominant pass rush moves. This is awesome. I don't need to see all these dudes who can just, yeah, great. Okay, so clutch stops, realistic open field tackling. So hopefully this isn't what it means, but just hopefully tackling works again next year. Hopefully you can be standing on someone and actually make a tackle. But this kind of counters the part we were talking about, of people reaching out, or the ball carriers reaching out with the ball to get to first downs and get to the goal line. This kind of makes sense. I think it fits really well, and it's probably necessary, but it's they're gonna try to stop them from getting to the first down or getting to the goal line if they're in a tackle animation. So it's kind of cool both ways. Probably not game changing, but it's cool. So there we finally saw our, I could be wrong. Now we've seen like passes thrown to Alvin Kamara and someone else earlier, maybe Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb. Finally, we see Tyreek Hill. Finally, we got a ball in a receiver's hands. How long? We had to wait a minute into this. After Madden 20, we got to wait a minute to see a wide receiver with a ball. We haven't seen a pass yet. We've seen people try to pass, to be fair. At least they're trying to. They're just getting sacked. But finally, we see a receiver with a ball. So that's cool. Just shocks me, the marketing behind this. But like, I know I'm not, that's not what I do for a living. They're better at their job than obviously than I am. But from a consumer's perspective, it shocks me that they chose to go this route. But finally, we get a pass off. Nice job, Joe Burrow. Cool hit stick animation that's been in Madden forever. That SWAT animation's been in Madden forever. Cool double juke. Same SWAT animation. So we got striker pose, user controlled celebrations. I wish they would start bringing us, and people hate microtransactions, but I wish we could get more visual, whether it be skins, so uniforms, or emotes like celebrations for purchase in the marketplace. And people are going to hate that. And they're going to be like, you're just allowing EA to be money hungry. They're not pay to win. They're not necessarily at all to the game. I know they might look a little greedy, but I think it'd be so cool to have unique celebrations and unique uniforms from the rest of the community. But it says user controlled celebrations. We had that this past year too. They're probably just updated. Maybe they'll have new stuff. Looks like a few after sacks, a few after touchdowns here. Okay. Maybe they didn't brand it last year, but we definitely had it. And we had team celebrations. We had everything. It was our first time we were able to really choose what type of celebration we did going to the end zone. I'd just like to see something more exclusive. I think it'd be cool. So Lamar reaching for the end zone. Another cool clip of him. Now talk about, people gave this crap. That's not the full cover, but dude, the branding behind this cover, So many people gave this crap. I think it's nasty. Like, I think it's awesome. This isn't the actual cover, but like it's kind of similar. I think the concept is super, super cool. That doesn't really have a ton of stuff to do with the game, but I thought it was cool. I love how it says not bad for a running back, pocket running back, Lamar Jackson. But overall, the trailer, super cool. I don't think the game looks graphically any much better, but there are some cool things they did cinematically. Obviously, we see X Factor's coming back. You see TJ Watt with an X Factor, Lamar with maybe just an ability. He'd be an X Factor with that. And Lamar with an X Factor and his abilities lighting up. Just super cool. I would rate this trailer like a 6.5 out of 10. There were a lot of cool things. There are certain things that surprised me about the direction that they did go. Now, I wanted to show a little bit of my Twitter feed today, because I did talk quite a bit about the trailer and my thoughts on some of the notes. I wanted to get things straight before, or at least so you guys can hear my voice rather. So first off, I said, I'll retire from Madden 21 the second the strip sack animation happens to me. I will. And unfortunately, some people took this too seriously, where they think they were like, no, you won't do that. Well, no crap, I'm not gonna. Like, it's my job. Like I'm not gonna retire over an animation. But like, people don't understand sarcasm. Is what it is. I thought it was a funny tweet. That animation's ridiculous. Anyway, and then also last night at 4 a.m. I did this to a guy in a tie game when I was dicking around with him trying to run Wildcat, and 21-21 game, I Hail Mary bombed him. Look at the pocket presence from Throne. Palomalu coming off the edge. I avoid the user rush. Stay behind the line of scrimmage. Look at Robert Griffin the third. Throws it deep, and it's Julio Jones reaching for the end zone. Maybe it was in this past year's Madden. Maybe it was. But no, I had to flex that real quick because that's not going to make it into a video anywhere else. But that was a super cool clip. So bombed his 3-man deep, actually, for the win this time. Anyways, started it off. This came in some gridiron notes. Diversify your play calling to outsmart adaptive AI adjustments that counter your tendencies in new ways. People are going to take this and hear, oh, adaptive AI, that's good. Great for the game. People shouldn't be able to spam the same plays and get away with it. And I know there are people who are going to give me crap in this comment section because they're going to think that Throne, you're only complaining about this because you spam plays. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. A lot of people don't understand what's happening in Madden. In my opinion, a lot of people just don't really know what's going on. Like, the number of times people, even in my comment section, just said, if someone just QB contained this guy, he'd be boxed. And it's like, I've been glitching contain since like September. Like, some dudes just don't have a clue. And some people think adaptive AI is a good thing. Now, to me, I think it's a good thing if it's human versus CPU. If it's human versus human, this starts to cause really, really weird issues, in my opinion. First off, EA can't even program how to block 2-3-6 with, send 5 with a manned up running back. Like, that will scream at a casual 95% of plays that they run, because they're not going to know how to block it. They haven't fixed that all year, and trust me, I think they would have if they could have, because that manned up glitch has been out for a really, really long time. Now, do we trust EA to adapt to other play calls? So think about that. If you're someone who's for adaptive AI, do you trust EA to program this? I see this as, and what I tweeted was, they confirmed adaptive AI to make brainless people better at Madden. LOL. It's true. It's to make brainless people better at Madden. Like, you shouldn't need adaptive AI in Madden. You shouldn't. Sorry. Not everyone's on the same skill level. Trust me, not everybody plays the game as much as I do. I know life the game. I'm a nerd. I glitch the game. But I just said, we're going to be glitching this awful feature by week 2 of the game. Good luck, morons. If adaptive AI is a thing, I genuinely think that we're going to find ways to absolutely screw it early. And, I see it and I'm like, adaptive AI will help casual people, but like, I think it could hurt casual people, like, especially for the people that are, at the top who are finding things that are good in the game. I think we're going to find ways to, manipulate it. And it could maybe even be more skill gap between us and the lower tiers of players. But regardless, I would prefer for it to not be in the game. I don't think they're going to execute it well. And the idea of giving somebody who already has so much control on defense another crutch shocks me. And people will be like, well, NFL teams, if you're running the same play over and over against them, they're going to adjust to it. Here's the thing. You are the NFL team. You are the defensive coordinator. You can choose which, not even, oh my gosh, you can choose literally what play to call. You can put any of the 11 players into almost any zone, and you can blitz them, you can contain them. I counted it earlier. There are like 15 to 16 zones in Madden that you can put your players into almost every single one individually. The other ones you might have to call a stock play that you can get them and then adjust the rest of the people. You can keep the man match, you can cancel it, you can protect sticks, which are kind of the same thing, but I'm talking the two different functions. You can change how many people you're blitzing. You can change the angles that they blitz. You can change who's on a contain, who's not. You can glitch out running backs by manning them up. There are just so many things, like spies play the run better, like stuff that we know that casual people don't, that gives us skill gap. But at the end of the day, like, you have so much control of your defense, and people sit in stock coverage and want it to play everything. And this to me screams that's kind of what they want, is for stock coverage to start playing. Say I ran wide receiver post every play. They want stock coverage to play wide receiver post every play, even though my opponent isn't doing anything to change. That to me starts to be like, that doesn't sound right. Again, you're the defensive coordinator. You also are controlling a player on the defense, which not only is just one player. It's not like it's just, the other 10 are fine and you're just controlling one. Like the other 10 are CPU and you're controlling one. No, you're controlling a god on defense. You're controlling probably someone with lurker, probably 99 speed, probably 6'3", probably a 60-inch vertical who can catch anything. You have eyes in the back of your head, and you can sprint all over the field, changing directions. And I'm not complaining about user lurks being too powerful. I'm just saying you already have so many tools at your disposal to get stops on defense, and people want an adaptive AI. I get where you're coming from. I just don't think you're right. I don't agree with it at all. Like, at all. Dangerous territory to be heading. Again, that's if it's human versus human. So if you're for your adaptive AI, we are never going to agree with each other. And you can try to argue it with me all you want. I'm probably just going to tell you suck at Madden, which you do. To be fair, you actually do suck at Madden. Why am I holding back saying that? You suck at Madden. Anyway, and ZZ says hand holding is bad. It's worse when it's worse when, as you said, we can manipulate it, which we probably will. He said, not a good look on paper, but do we really think it was done correctly? We shall see. Agree with both points, which I kind of talked about for a while. I just said is what it is. Just heard about it via the notes. Don't know the context of it. If it's in reference to human versus AI or human versus human. I said if it's human versus human, it'll probably be a few frustrating first days for us when we're trying to find stuff that works. And then it's good luck to the morons after we really figure out how it works. Eric also jumps in, says Throne is just mad he can't spam his cheesy rollout corner and actually has to learn real football, which, by the way, people who tell me like learn real football, it just shocks me that that's like their argument. It's always people like, you might have played, I'll even talk to my younger brother about this, who's an offensive lineman in college, how little he knows as a player playing college football, even as a center, compared to like coaches know so much. NFL coaches know so much about the game. And people that watch football like to act like they know it. It just shocks me. Like, this is Madden. This isn't real football. If you want to play or have control of real football and real schemes, go coach a freaking youth football team. Like, get off the video game. It's the same thing with like, if it would be like, I don't know, if they were to say that makes like Madden unrealistic, this type of stuff. It's like saying Call of Duty is unrealistic because it has perks, or Call of Duty is unrealistic because you can run longer, or the characters shoot too straight, or they're too accurate. Humans aren't that accurate. Like, it's trying to make the game fun. No one wants to play a sim game. Like, nobody does except you. You're in the minority. So sorry. Like, hate to tell, and also like, you probably. I know I'm stubborn and narrow-minded in terms of the way I view this, but I think you are as well if you think that people want a sim game. So anyway, I freaked out on this guy who said it's realistic to a point, is it not? If you keep running the same play IRL, the defense will key in on it after a couple plays. I get it. Like I said, that's true. But you're the defensive coordinator and you use a player on the defense and you have all the power in the world to do whatever you want on defense. So I just told them, I get it. You have it. By the way, if you guys give me crap about activating windows, I hate you. I get it. You probably have a good heart with this answer and you mean no harm. He does. I don't think he means like to try to own me or anything. He just, he's curious. I just said, but you're the defensive coordinator and a player on the defense. Now you want the CPU's help too. Your brain is already the freaking adaptive AI. Like, just use your brain. Which I think is true. Use your brain. Adjust. And he said you didn't have to send me the Shadow Realm like that. And I just told him, dude, it's a common response. I've gotten this all the time where people think that there should be adaptive AI that stops cheese plays like over and over again. If you can't stop something, for the most part, it's probably your fault if you can't stop the same thing over and over again. That's what makes Madden players good, is you find ways to stop stuff. Like, that's where skill gap is. So, you can disagree. If you do, we are going to have to agree to disagree because I'm never going to see eye to eye with you, probably. So, some guy said, is it human versus human? I said, I actually just tweeted that. Then this guy comes into my mentions and says, in regards to me saying that you're the adaptive AI and there are adjustments and stuff that you can do. He says, wrong. You can know the corner route is coming and still can't stop it. You're the player and coach, but you can only use her one side. Corner route each side, good luck. Not to mention far formation cheese. Play recognition rating needs to matter. Third time, defender should jump it. So I get what he's saying where he says corner routes are overpowered. And they are. And they were this past year. And there were glitches with corner routes that shouldn't have been in the game. Agreed. Corner routes where he says wrong, it's just funny to me because this guy, he even admits later, he's only a 17-win weekend league player, but he, by the way, has doubled, tripled down, says he's right. He's gone at basically everyone in the community has tried to respond to him about this. It's funny. But I agree corner routes are overpowered, but for him to say wrong, that there's no way to stop it, he was so incredibly incorrect, like so incredibly incorrect. So I just decided to tell him that's a lot of characters just to tell me you suck at Madden. And then I was like, oh, that might be a cop-out. And I don't like responding to people like this on Twitter, but I was mad today and frustrated. And I need to get you guys knowing where I stand on this type of stuff, okay? So you can know where I am. A lot of YouTubers think people cheese and they complain about stuff like not trying to make fun of It's Dom, but It's Dom will call them Madden dweebs. I'm a Madden dweeb. Like, I am. And there aren't many that do YouTube seriously. So I've really, really got to make my voice known of where I stand on this stuff. And, you guys are here probably because you saw me and you wanted to get better at the game, or you saw me play, you liked my style or whatever it might have been. You probably subscribed in some part of knowing that I was decent at Madden. And, I think it's important to me that you guys know where, what my perspective is on a lot of this type of stuff, especially when it's so contrary to the rest of the YouTubers that you probably watch. Anyways, so after that, I was like, that might be a cop-out answer. So I decided to give him 7 different ways to stop rollout corners. Told him cover 4 match, baseline cover 3 match, baseline press cover 3 match, shaded up soft squats, contains the blitzer outside them, user containing. You have an effing 6'3", 99 speed, 60-inch vertical user, just play anywhere near the side they roll out. And then I said, or 7, beg for adaptive AI, which is true. That's literally what he's doing. So he is using option 7, to be fair. But there are 6 ways right there to stop what he just said were unstoppable, that he probably had 0 clue existed. That right there is skill gap. That right there is what makes Madden good, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying it takes skill for the most part, there is a little bit of skill gap, sorry, but it's not the most skillful thing to roll out and glitch, throw corner routes all game. And that's coming from me. But there is skill gap too. I play people who suck at it, and then I'll play people who are better. And there are some guys, particularly pros, who are really, really good at it. Like, there's just a difference. I like to think I'm good at it. Like, I've done it a lot. I know a lot of the counters to the counters, like stuff to get that open or to get that chop block or whatever. Regardless, he tripled down on stuff, and it was really frustrating. But I just needed, I said, okay, got my pre-Madden rant out. See you in August for my launch rant. I guess I didn't fully get it out because I had to come here and rant for a little bit, but I needed you guys to know where I stand on this. Now, obviously, again, 90-second cinematic trailer. Don't look out into it too much. Madden 21. I'm optimistic. I always am. That new Madden coming out is always a really, really exciting time of the year. Hopefully we have good skill gap, and hopefully it's a fun game to play. I don't know if I have too much else other to say than that. We saw some good things. We saw some bad things. Just like last year's trailer. A lot of the things that we thought about last year's trailer didn't end up being true. Thought no-look passes were overpowered. Turns out just on-the-run passes were overpowered. Like, no-look passes didn't end up making a difference, really. Like, there was a small period of time of the year where roaming Deadeye was, like, kind of an issue. Like, small period. Should have been one of the least things we worried about. But that was one thing that people poked at, which, to be fair, it was corny to see Patrick Mahomes making a no-look pass, so I understood it. But again, it's just a trailer. Doesn't say much about the gameplay in my opinion, and I'm excited for it. Hopefully, it's almost 2 months till that August 19th date that I keep talking about, and I am stoked for it. I'm excited to keep providing you guys Madden 20 content. Until then, I'm gonna branch out a little bit. Hopefully, do an apartment tour. I've got a couple other things in the works, and we're just gonna we're gonna keep grinding YouTube and doing what we do until Madden 21 comes out, and then we'll really, really hit Madden hard. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you did like it, can you please hit the like button? If you are new to the channel and you stayed all the way to the end, can you consider hitting subscribe, letting me know in the comment section that you stayed all the way to the end? I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Love ya. I'll see you guys in the next video.